In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the assignment Cartesian Plane Review 1. This assignment is asking you to review a lot of the information that you've already gone over this year while looking at Cartesian planes. It gives you 4 steps, 4 instructions to complete, and a graph to complete them on. Let's go over to an assignment that I've created. So I'm going to first copy over the questions into my drawing so that I don't have to go back and forth. We're going to highlight each question a different color so you can follow along a little bit easier. Let's highlight this one yellow. Question 1 is asking you to plot 3 points, label them, and name your shape. I'm going to use the circle icon. We're going to plot our points. So 2, 1, 5, 5, and 2, 5. We're going to go up and use the line icon, connect those together. And there we go, we've got a triangle. After I'm done creating my triangle, I'm going to color code this triangle yellow. You don't need to do this, but this just assists you in following along. And then we're going to label our points and name our shape. And that's it for question 1. All right, let's take a look at question 2. Question 2 is asking us to perform a translation. That's where we move a shape in its current orientation somewhere else on the grid. It's asking us to move positive 2x and negative 9y. So let's go ahead and count that out. Count out positive 2x, which means we move in the positive direction on the x-axis. And then we're moving negative 9y, which means we are moving 9 spaces down or in the negative direction of the y-axis. We're going to bring this first point, 2, 1, down to its new position at 4, negative 8. After that, I'm not going to draw out each bunny hop, but we're going to count the other points the same way. 2 to the right, 9 down. So we'll place 5, 5 now at 7, negative 3. And 2, 5 at 4, negative 3. We'll go ahead and connect those together. After we've plotted our points, we'll do the same thing as we did in question 1. We're going to label all of our new points. And then name our new triangle. And that's it for question 2. So if we back out here, let me take a look. We've completed question 1, which is just asking us to plot 3 points, label and name a shape. We've completed question 2, which is asking us to make a translation of that shape from one area to another on our graph. Next, we're going to look at question 3. Question 3 is asking us to make a rotation, a 90-degree clockwise rotation of our second shape. Now, if you've watched the transformations rotations video, or you remember from when we went over this content in class, you do not need a protractor to do rotations as long as those rotations are cardinal points. So that's 0 degrees, 90 degrees, 180 degrees, 270 degrees, or 360. So let's draw out a little arrow here on the side. Now the top arrow is 360 as well as 0 degrees. It's full circle. The arrow to the right is 90 degrees, to the bottom 180, and to the left 270. We're being asked to do 90 degrees in the clockwise direction. And so the numbers go around in ascending order the same way clock numbers go around. If we were asked counterclockwise, these would be reversed. Now, the point that I've highlighted here is the center of rotation for -8. This point's not going to change. And our 90-degree angle is going to be based off of this point. So I'm going to use the point 4, -3. And we're going to rotate that one first. So we're going to bring it 90 degrees onto this blue line. Now in its original position, it's 5 spaces away from 4, -8. So when I shift it 90 degrees, it still needs to be 5 spaces away. So let's count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 4, -3 is now being moved to 9, -8. We're going to do the same thing for 7, -3. It's 3 spaces away from 4, -3, and so it needs to be 3 spaces away from our new position. We draw our lines to connect them, and you'll notice, especially with triangles, that when you start doing rotations, you get this kind of windmill look. All the blades are going in the same direction. If your triangle was reversed and it was facing in on itself, you would know that you made some sort of error. You've in fact created a reflection as opposed to a rotation. And that's it for our third shape. So next we just need to go ahead and label our new triangle, as well as label all the points. And instead of creating an entirely new label for point D, I'm just going to name it G as well, D and G, since 4, -8 does not change. All right, and that's question 3 done. So lastly, we're going to take a look at question 4. Now question 4 is asking us to make a reflection. So it's given us a line of reflection. I'm going to pick a red line, I think, to show you guys, and that line is going to go from 0, 0, so the point of origin, all the way down to 0, -10. And it could go longer, it could go shorter, as long as it runs vertically on the 0 of the x-axis, then that's fine. So we're going to name this our line of reflection, our LOR. And we're reflecting that third shape that we made in question 3 onto the opposite side. So we know we just have to count the points, their distance from the line of reflection, so it's 4 points for our previous center of rotation, 4, -8. So we're going to move that over onto the other side. There we go. And next we're going to do the same with the other 2 points. Again, making sure that our triangle is the same size as it was before. So those 2 points that are in a straight line are either 3 apart or 5 apart. And our triangle is symmetrical to the triangle from question 3. Lastly, we just take our time, label our points, name our triangle, and that's it. We're done. This has been Mr. Ford, and this has been Cartesian Plane Review.